Okay, welcome back. So I have cooked it for the 3 minutes and now I've let it sit for 1 minute and now we're going to mill it. So we're going to put the lid back on and it's got 1 minute speed 10. So off it goes. See you in a minute. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to go next, and normally it tells you now to cook this off on a grill, and I'm going to tell you that you do not need to. I have done this. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've ever cooked it off on a grill. Maybe the first time I made it years and years and years and years and years ago, probably in the TM5 days, but I don't think I've ever done it since. So let's just skip past that. You don't need to. I tell you, it makes no difference to the final product. You cannot tell. So it says to cook it on a grill. We'll jump past that. Set aside to cool. Now into the Thermomix bowl, we're going to add some beautiful ingredients. We're going to add cumin seeds. Now, if you don't have seeds, use your ground, okay? Just a little less. Like instead of 2 teaspoons, use 1.5 teaspoons. So that's your little swap over if you don't have seeds, but you've got grounds. However, it's one of those things that once you get the butter chicken spices, you can make just about anything because it covers all the obscure ones that you otherwise wouldn't have. I have also done it, missing some out in the past. Bet you that doesn't surprise you. And it still turns out amazing. Authentically butter chicken? Maybe not, but that's okay. The key ones really are the coriander, which is going in now, the cumin, some cinnamon. Now, I don't always have cinnamon quills. I very much have used cinnamon ground cinnamon, about 1/2 teaspoon at times as well. That's okay. Use what you've got. Now, black cardamom pod. This is the one that most often I have swapped for a green cardamom pod over the years. Okay, but again, it's one of those things once you've bought it. I reckon I bought these 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And once you've got them, it's one of those things, they just last forever. So, but otherwise, chuck in a green one or put in some, how much is it? So 1 black pod, like 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cardamom, green cardamom, okay? This is the other weird one. Now, I always say this wrong, and my old branch manager used to laugh at me. Fenugreek is, I think, how you're supposed to pronounce it. I've practiced. This is beautiful. There's a depth of flavor when you buy these, okay? These seeds. Smell them. It's just beautiful. There's this real, I can't even explain it. It's stunning. Okay, so they're in next. Now we're going to roast them for 3 minutes, 120 degrees on speed 1. So whatever model you've got, you can do this. If you haven't already and you're wanting to get a little ahead and use your time really efficiently, you need to chop up a big onion or 2 standard onions. It's a fair bit of onion we need. You'll need some garlic powder or paste or real deal. Same with ginger. We need some tomatoes, a tin of tomatoes. We need some, I don't have ghee, we're going to use butter. And that's mostly it. So I'm going to see you in 3 minutes time. We're going to actually make this into a powder. It's going to be stunning. So I can't wait for you to see this. I wish there was smell-o-vision so you could smell it, because it's just, when this is cooked off and so fragrant, it is amazing. So see you in a couple of minutes time for the next step. Okay, welcome back. So I have cooked it for the 3 minutes and now I've let it sit for 1 minute and now we're going to mill it. So we're going to put the lid back on and it's got 1 minute speed 10. So off it goes. See you in a minute. Okay, it's done. Made our own homemade spice mix. Pour into a bowl and set aside, and this smells so beautiful, so amazing. Now we don't need to clean the bowl out after this step, which is amazing. Love it when that happens. So we're going to go straight on, and you'll see the next ingredient is ghee. Actually, that reminds me, if you can't do dairy in this recipe, and many years we couldn't. When I first did this, I was doing this recipe with coconut oil, and so it wasn't butter chicken, I get that, but it tasted amazing still, because really these spices are such a highlight in this recipe. So I was doing coconut oil and I was doing coconut cream, and it works beautifully. So please don't ever be scared. If you need advice, just ask. I don't mind giving you what I used to do. And if I didn't have it, I'd still do that. And even things like coating that chicken, if I didn't have yogurt, you could use sour cream, cottage cheese. So, any of those creamy type things. So yeah, Okay, let's go next. Without cleaning the mixing bowl, love that. We're going to put in 45 grams of ghee. I don't have ghee at the moment, but I do have butter, so butter will go in. And thankfully, we don't have to be strictly dairy-free these days. Thank goodness. But yeah, coconut oil works perfectly. Even in a lot of baking, I used to bake with it. Like I would use coconut oil in the place of butter. So long as it was cold in winter, because it just creams that same way, it worked beautifully. Okay, hoping my brown onion is big enough. I didn't pre-weigh it, but I have cut it into the quarters. Now this is the part, whoa, that's a really heavy brown onion. Let's take some out. I don't really want to put the lot in there if I don't need to, because that'll go into a dish later. But what was I going to say? This is the part that varies now a little bit from, what model you've got. So I'm going to use high heat mode here on this recipe. You don't necessarily have that. If you've got a TM31 or a TM5, you don't have high heat. So you're just going to put 10 minutes for aroma, slow stir, okay? And let your onion cook off like that. So I'm going to press play. Do make sure you still cut it into quarters. I'll see you in 10 minutes time, and we're going to finish this up together. I think we've got 2 more steps, so we'll see you soon. All right, let's see. Where are we up to? We sauteed this off. Oh, look at that. Oh, you can't look. Hang on, let me wipe your face. There you go. So we've cooked off beautiful onion in there using our saute. Avoiding the blades. Add our milled spices. This smell is just floating through my house. It is stunning. In the YouTube, I talk about how you can swap things around if you don't have them and things like that. So do check that out. Okay. Yum. That is beautiful. Next, add, fresh ginger. Now, I have frozen ginger because the kids make cordial. You've heard me say it, and this is the leftovers. So it's still 20 grams. If you don't have, so this is technically ginger paste. If you don't have ginger paste, but you got fresh ginger, put in your fresh ginger, just cut it in little discs, okay, like you'd slice a carrot. Hello, Amy. Lovely to see you on today. That was a little heavy, but doesn't really matter. And if you don't have that, but you've only got ginger powder, put in a teaspoon of ginger powder, okay? Next up, we've got garlic, and it says 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to go, I don't know, about the size of 2 cloves of garlic. And again, if you only have powder, use a teaspoon of powder, all right? If you've got fresh, obviously you're putting 2 cloves in. Okay, some salt, 1 teaspoon. Now the salt in this recipe is important. Okay, if you want it to taste authentic, don't skip on the salt, right? That's something you'll know. And then you'll put some on the table on it and you'll be like, oh my goodness, this was lacking. Like you'll realize. Now I am skipping the chilies. I do have some green capsicums in the fridge and I thought about using them, but I never got them out. So I'm just going to skip it. Hello, Julie. Lovely to see you on this afternoon as well. Have any of you made this butter chicken? This traditional one that's got the fancy name that I'm not game to try and repronounce again. It's on Cookidoo. Let me know if you've done that, if anyone watching on has done that. I'm going to cook for 2 minutes at 120 degrees, speed 2. Off this goes. So coming up next, we've only got a couple more steps. Now, something to consider coming up is it calls for cashews. Cashews is your thickener in this recipe. It doesn't have to be though, right? So if you don't have cashews, you could use almonds. If you don't have almonds or you can't do nuts, you could use sunflowers. I'm actually going to use sunflower seeds today. Just grab something I can scoop with, and I'm going to prep that just because the cashews actually, I do have cashews. I was going to say they're empty. No, it's okay. I have cashews, not many, but I have some. So we'll use cashews. It really won't matter what you use there unless you use something quite strong like walnut or something, which has its own very nutty solid flavor. So don't, just think about something that's quite ordinary. And if you have no nuts, you have no seeds, put a teaspoon of plain flour in because it'll thicken it as well. Okay, or corn flour if you need to be gluten-free and you don't have gluten-free, pull out plain flour. So don't feel like, hey, I have to do this. And especially if you are cooking, so you've got a family member who can't do nuts or they can't do seeds or both. That's your option, okay? So that it still thickens up your sauce. You end up with a really runny sauce, but it gives you that little bit of texture to it. So it does say to serve this with cashews over the top, but of course, if you leave them out, just don't serve them with cashews. Oh, one more ingredient I am leaving out. Something that stopped me making this for many years is the green stuff coming up called coriander. Now, I like coriander seeds, but I don't like coriander greens. So when we come up to that in a second, I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist. If you like coriander, put the greens in. If you don't like coriander, I feel with you, that's okay. We're just going to pretend coriander doesn't exist anymore. And we're just going to skip past it, like just ignore it. So that's what we're going to do there. Just in case you're like, hang on, that's coming up. What's she going to do? That's what I'm going to do. Hey, Sue, lovely to see you on this afternoon as well. So that's coming up. But I'm just waiting for this 2-minute cook. 1 second, here we go. This is my house. I've got to that stage where my nose is nearly running because the smells are so beautiful. It's that real curry house. Oh my goodness, smell. Okay, hang on, let me wipe you again. Oh, it's steaming up too quick. Here you go. That's what we got so far, and it smells so good. So good. Alrighty. And as I said at the beginning, like if you've never done this fancy version, it's got a few more steps, but trust me, it's worth it. There's time and a place for the simple versions, yes. But oh my goodness, this one is amazing. Okay, scrape down the spatula. Yeah. Okay, we're going to add. It says 1 can, 400 grams. So my scales have come up. So this is an 800 gram can. So I'm not putting it all in. Nearly there. There we go. Some water, 70 grams. Is it going to tick that off? Oh no, because it thinks it's a can. Just a little bit of water. It's not much. It's a couple of tablespoons. In it goes. Whew, that'll do. And then here's our cashews. 70 grams. And then we're going to mill this into a paste, I think. Hang on, I probably shouldn't jump ahead yet. 70 grams. It's a fair amount of cashews, actually, as I chucked in handfuls. Next. Oh, next there. Okay, it cooks. Interesting. Do we blend? Oh yeah, we blend. It's coming up. We're going to cook for 7 minutes, 100 degrees, slow stir. Press the play button and off that goes. So, hello Lorraine, lovely to see you on today. All these happy smiling people, I love it. So, what are we serving this with? Let's have a quick chat about what we're doing. My family really enjoy curries, and tikka masala is my 12-year-old's favourite. On his night, 80% of the time, that's what he will make for dinner. But we don't just eat it as that with rice. We actually roast up veggies. So we dice up sweet potato, carrot, pumpkin, sometimes potato, depends what we've got coming in from the garden, and we roast it. And so then dinner is actually curry, rice, and a little bit of rice for me because I don't actually like rice that much, and a decent amount of roast veggies. So that's how we have our curries. We actually put them with that. But, and sometimes naan bread, sometimes not. It really depends on what's going on. The kids have mastered gluten-free pizza style naan, which has been really nice to enjoy that. I've actually got a video of that coming up when I'm in Fiji. So I recorded that the other evening and I'm going to put that up for you while I'm away. So you can see how we can make it gluten-free if you need to make it gluten-free. Otherwise, naan bread is amazing and easy. If you need me to find an old video to show you what I do with non-gluten-free, you got to wait for the gluten-free one. It's going to come up next week. But if you want to see like a standard glutinous naan bread, let me know and I'll go dig back through the archives of my videos and find you one. Because yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy when you've got a Thermomix, which is just so good. Okay, let's keep going. So now we're going to add not the fresh coriander, but we are going to add salted butter. That coriander will not be missed, I promise. 20 grams. Perfect. Next, now we're going to blend this 1 minute speed 8. We're so close to adding our meat in, okay? So I'll see you in a minute's time. Okay, so next up we've got add the reserved grilled chicken. Now remember, we haven't grilled ours, so we do have a little tweak. Oh my goodness, this smells amazing. Oh, so good. So good. So we do have a tweak coming up that means that it's going to get cooked, right? So in with the chicken. Now bearing in mind that if you use chicken breast, you are going to probably have this shredded at the end of the cook time because it will be now incredibly so tender and soft that it's just not going to hold its form. So just be mindful of that. Don't be sad if you do breast and it shreds. That's what's going to happen. 1 teaspoon of garam masala. I Googled a little while ago, actually it was a long while ago, what garam masala is, because it's a combo of actually a lot of stuff we've already put into the Thermomix. And what it does is it really lifts those flavors. So you can make your own garam masala. It's on Cookidoo. But what it does is, because we cook those flavors off, they've somewhat lost some of their, I guess, pure taste. So when you add this back in, it really lifts them back up. So interesting. Okay, next. So lightly stir with a spatula then. So in with my spatula. I do love the TM7 spatula, how it's like a big windscreen wiper. Take the bit off the lid as well. Through there. Don't want to let that go to waste. In it goes. And then we're going to, did I lightly stir? Kind of, not really, but that's okay. Next, now it normally cooks for 3 minutes. Now you and I know 3 minutes is not long enough to cook chicken. We need at least 12. If you've got, and mine will be 12 because they're about the size of my finger. I've cut them into chunks, kind of cut across the thigh and then just through the center. I'm not fiddling with my thigh. I do not remove all the fat. I don't stuff around with all that stuff. I just don't have time. So, but I do cut it into strips. I use the awesome knives from the mix shop. I've got a couple of sets of these ones. And then I cut the strips that are about the size of my finger into halves. That's how that is. So 12 minutes will probably be enough for me. But if you've gone decent chunks, you're going to need 15 minutes. Okay, so we're going to change that time up to 12. Obviously, this is important that you come back and check. So there is only 2 things left to add, and they're I think they're a stir through with the spatula. No 1 minute cook, so you may as well just stir it. But I know we'll come back and show you that. But you do want, by the time you finish this step, the chicken to be done. So you need to grab a piece out, slice it in half, check there's no pink left in it, that it's all white through, and then you know that it is cooked. Okay, so something to be mindful of. If you don't do chicken, but you want to do veggies at this point in time, amazing. You'll still want to cook them for 12 minutes, 15 minutes, because you want your cubes to cook through. So you could do that. If you want to do lamb, because you've got lamb. If you want to do beef, like whatever you like. Okay, it is just a divine sauce that you can do what you like with. So I see you in 12 minutes. We're going to finish this together, and I'm so excited. I wish you could smell this. I wish you could smell my house right now. It's beautiful. Anyway, I'll see you in 12 minutes time. Okay, let's finish off. My house just smells so amazing right now. Look at it boiling away. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Okay, 100 grams of pouring or whipping cream, or if you're doing dairy-free, coconut cream. That one's done. Get a new one. Yum, yum. I actually think there's been times I've forgotten to add this last cream in when I've done it years and years and years ago, and it still tasted amazing. So if you happen to get to this step and you didn't have cream, it works and it's beautiful. Okay, next up is 20 grams of unsalted butter, and then 24. Next, now it says to lightly stir with a spatula, and then it's going to put it on for 1 more minute while that butter dissolves. Can you see it's still boiling away in there? Is that camera clear enough for you to see? It's actually still, oh well, it wasn't until I added that, well, until I stirred it actually. It was actually boiling in there. You can see how much sauce you've got to how much meat. Like, it's such a generous recipe. I reckon you could take it out at the sauce step and actually put some away, kind of like my freezer style. You could definitely do that. But yeah, normally now it just says cook for another minute at 90 degrees. Now the reason they do 90 degrees is they do not want to burn that cream to the bottom of the bowl. Now it doesn't affect your food. It's not like a saucepan, right? Like in a saucepan, if you do that, it taints the food because you accidentally stir it back in. With the Thermomix, we don't. But I'm so excited about this. So that's why it's 90 degrees, just so that you know, that's why. Skip. Garnish with extra cashews and coriander. No coriander is going to be put on mine. And serve with rice or bread of choice. There you go. Butter chicken. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Give this a go. Put it on your to-dos. This is what it looks like on Cookidoo. Okay. It's well worth making. It is amazing. It is just like, if not better than what you would have bought out at an Indian takeaway shop. So give it a go. Tell me what you think. You do not need to buy a sachet of butter chicken sauce in the supermarket when you've got a Thermomix. You can make it yourself. Okay, while other things are happening in life, you just come on back and do what it tells you to do. It's so worth your time. All right, and if you are that sort of person who's inclined to go pick up a sauce off the supermarket shelf, check out my Fill the Freezer ebook on my shop. So head to Tia Maxine Ventures, check it out over there, because it teaches you how to make a whole lot of sauces. Literally as many as, I think there's 7 recipes. So you make 14 family-sized serves, or double that if you're just cooking for you and your partner. And you can freeze them flat, take them camping, just have them when life gets hectic, ready to go and put with your protein. So if you're camping, you'd put them in like over a fire stove and heat up the sauce with your meat in it and your veggies and serve it up. So anyway, have a lovely day. Take care in all you do. Remember to share these videos with friends and family who have a Thermomix. They need to know about this amazing butter chicken recipe, and they need to make it. Maybe even share it with you. This does make enough to share, okay? It's 2 liters in that bowl, and it is beautiful. But otherwise, guys, take care in all you do, and I can't wait to see you in the next video soon. We shall see you then. Bye for now.